Welcome to the Modern Manifestation Podcast. I'm your host, Bree Brown, a business mindset coach, entrepreneur, and a top competitor in a male-dominated industry. I'm a native Texan, the youngest of all brothers, and a lettuce-hating, wine-loving, curses-like-a-sailor recovering perfectionist. I've spent over a decade building my commission-based career, and my life's purpose is helping other women achieve the same multi-six-figure success I achieved before I was 25. I have a passion for helping women with mindset, money, and manifestation skills to help every young woman realize her full potential. If you're looking for vulnerable conversations, professional development, inspiration, or even a kick in the ass to get you motivated, you have come to the right place. Thanks for checking out the Modern Manifestation Podcast. Now let's jump right in to today's topic. Hello, my friends. I hope everyone had a great and restful December. If you have celebrated a holiday over the last 2 months or even any time throughout the year, I hope you had a great holiday season. And if you've been tuning into my show over the last few months, you already know that I'm giving a brief overview of each of the spiritual laws or guidelines of manifestation. And today, we are continuing this exploration with the 8th of the 12 laws. Quick note, next podcast episode release will be another guest interview, and then we'll finish up the 4 laws, and then we'll move back into some more money mindset and other topics that I know you guys love. And if this is the first episode you're jumping into, welcome. And know that I started reviewing all of these laws individually, starting with the law of divine oneness, which can be found in episode number 59. So you're welcome to tune into each individual episode as you wish, but it is helpful if you start from the beginning first and work your way up, because there is a lot of crossover, and each of these laws build upon one another. Okay, let's get into the 8th law that we're discussing today, which is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That is quite a mouthful. You're probably listening to this and you're like, wait, hold on, say that again. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. And this law states that energy is constantly transmuting or transferring, and it is always in motion. Hence the word perpetual within that law. This continuous metamorphosis never stops. Everything is always changing, and nothing is constant. Energy just is. It exists. It cannot disappear. It cannot go away. It cannot add to itself. It just is. And it's always moving. Even scientists can only define energy as it just is. It is being. And the basis of this law is that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is perpetual, and it is always transforming, or transferring, or transmuting, whatever word you want to use. And a great example of this law at work in our physical world is to think of water. Water can transition into an ice cube, it can dissipate into steam, it can turn back into clouds, rain, snow, back into water, back into ice, but it always exists in some form. You cannot get rid of the energy that is water. You can only change its form. This is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy at work. From state to state, energy constantly evolves, moves, transforms. And it always exists, even when you can't see it. It is continuous, and it moves from form through form, and back into form again. This is also the basis for my favorite expression that you've heard time and time again, that your thoughts determine your emotions, which determine your behaviors. And this determines your results or your manifestations. And this thought, emotion, behavior cycle creates the identity you have. And that is what you're manifesting, your identity. In other words, your thoughts are where it all starts. Change your thoughts, change what you're manifesting. Change the energy behind your thoughts, and perpetuate a different type of energy transfer within your life. This law allows us to understand that you can transmute your own energy. If energy is always in motion, you can use this knowledge to move through the different forms for yourself. So an example of this could be taking your excitement and channeling that into something like creativity, or taking your anger and transmuting it into a power for your workout, or taking your happiness and transmuting it into a visualization exercise to help you manifest. We see this all the time in the world around us, forming an idea into a product, ice into water, the decay of one life into the birth of another. It's this natural cycling of energy that we can use to our benefit. It's always happening. It's always going to occur no matter what. So how can we channel that into the right direction for us? And we have to be mindful about this natural law because transmuting your own energy could also mean taking on the negative aspects of that. So it could also mean taking your negative emotions and transferring that energy into a place in your body where it gets stuck. And this energy blockage can show up later as dis-ease or disease, pain, cancer, weight gain, depression, anxiety, so many different things. And I'm not saying that this has caused all of our ailments, but I think it plays a significant role for many people, and it's something that we don't give quite enough attention to. All energy can be transformed. All energy manifests. So applying this law to your life means that you have the power to change the conditions of your life. Life doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. It happens by change. You can choose how you're transmuting the energy in your life. You can choose how you perceive your world. You can choose the confirmation bias that you subscribe to, positive or negative, glass half empty or glass half full. And when you choose to raise your vibration by focusing on the positive, you start changing your energy and your vibrations. And then you have the ability to transform the negative emotions within you, and therefore the power to change your life. Thoughts transmute into things. When you choose better thoughts, your world will show up differently for you. A positive confirmation bias will allow you to show up differently. Positive thoughts are a powerful force, more powerful than our negative thoughts. So allow yourself to be transmuted by the perpetual motion of positive energy, and you will experience rapid shifts. Allow the positive to overpower the negative, and you will redefine your identity and what you're manifesting. These positive thoughts will break the cycle and create positive emotions and positive behaviors. Break the cycle of negativity by introducing positive thoughts, and you will have a very different reality. Align yourself with the positive and the good within this world, and you will change the energy within yourself. Then, you will change the world as you experience it for the better. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy states that energy is constant and always transferring, always changing the conditions around us. Use this law to change the conditions of your life to your advantage. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know it was a shorter episode, but I feel like because these are building upon one another, you already have the basis for the information you need, and now I'm just providing a little bit more. Don't forget, next episode will be a guest interview, and then we will finish up with the 4 remaining laws. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch y'all next Monday. Until then, go out there and manifest some miracles. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with new episodes. As always, we would love it if you would share this episode with friends and family who could use the inspiration. As a new podcast show, we would really appreciate your honest feedback so I know what you like and what you could use more of. As a thank you for leaving us a rating, we will send you our 7 weekly tips to create space for abundance. Make sure you screenshot your review and email it to us at hello@themodernmanifestation.com so we can send them straight to your inbox. If you'd like to stay connected, you can find us on Instagram or Facebook at Modern Manifestation, or you can head to our website at themodernmanifestation.com. Thanks again for joining me, and I will catch y'all in the next episode.